All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating hypothetical scenario from our source material. It pulls back the curtain on how a modern war isn't just fought on land, sea, or in the air anymore. It's being fought in the complete silence of space.
So, let me ask you, when you hear the phrase space war, what pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably something straight out of a movie, right? But the reality, well, it's way more subtle, and honestly, a whole lot more powerful.
And this is really where Hollywood gets it wrong. We're not talking about dogfights between starships or flashy laser beams. The modern space battlefield is all about information. It's a quiet war, fought with satellites and streams of data that move at the speed of light. It's all about who can see first and react fastest.
Okay, so let's set the scene based on our source material. In this scenario, Iran kicks off a conflict. They've got a plan they think is a sure thing: launch a massive wave of missiles and drones to just completely overwhelm any U.S. defenses.
Their whole strategy really hangs on one critical assumption, that their mobile missile launchers can fire their weapons and then duck back into hiding before any U.S. jets in the area can even get there. For them, speed is everything. It's their shield.
But here's the thing. The moment those first missiles lift off, a battle is already being fought. On a battlefield they can't even see. And this is where the U.S. Space Force just totally rewrites the rules of the game from its perch up in orbit.
The key player in all of this? The U.S. Space Force. It was just established back in 2019, but it commands this whole network of specialized satellites. And these things are armed with super-sensitive infrared sensors designed for pretty much one thing: to give the U.S. a constant, watchful eye from the ultimate high ground.
So what does this advantage actually get you? Well, it creates this incredibly fast and lethal process. We're talking about something called a kill chain that connects a simple flash of heat in space to a direct hit on the ground in just a matter of minutes.
Here's how it goes down, and it happens fast. An Iranian missile launches. Boom! It creates this massive plume of heat. Instantly, a Space Force satellite sees it and nails down the launcher's exact coordinates. That data gets beamed down through ground stations to the nearest fighter pilot, who gets the target location in their cockpit. The whole thing is so quick, the launcher is taken out before the crew even has a clue they've been spotted.
Now, you might be wondering how all this happens so fast. It's not just one magic satellite doing all the work. It's actually a deeply integrated, three-layered defense system that all works together in perfect sync.
Let's break it down. Layer 1 is, of course, the satellites up there, providing that constant watch. The second layer is on the ground, these specialized radar domes, or radomes, that grab the raw data from space. But the real secret sauce is the third layer, the processing system. It takes that data and instantly figures out not just where the missile is going, but more importantly, exactly where it came from. It's the seamless marriage of space and ground technology. So what's the actual impact of all this high-tech superiority on the battlefield? Well, the results that are laid out in the source material are nothing short of staggering.
In this scenario, Iran unleashes a truly massive barrage. We're talking more than 500 ballistic missiles. This was their whole overwhelm strategy put into action.
And yet, after all that massive attack resulted in just 6 U.S. service members killed. That number is just incredibly low, and it speaks volumes about just how ridiculously effective this space-based defense system is.
This completely redefines that classic military idea of holding the high ground. For centuries, that meant taking a hill so you could see the enemy. But the Space Force high ground gives you a 24/7 view of an entire country. And here's the kicker. An enemy might be able to attack a hill, but there's no way for them to reach this ultimate high ground in orbit.
And that really brings us to the crucial point. As a former Space Force member Brie Frem puts it, this force is built with extreme technology and the brain power to operate it. This is a whole new kind of warfare. It's a war won by brains and tech, not just by having more boots on the ground. And all of this leaves us with one final, really big thought to chew on. This scenario shows how dominating space can completely control a conflict down here on Earth. So it forces us to ask a pretty serious question. When the ultimate high ground is literally in outer space, what does the next battlefield even look like?